Centennial celebration of Artie Mae Davies. And let's sing Artie happy birthday.
This is a resolution of commendation honoring Artie Davies on her 100th birthday celebration and for her outstanding contributions to the city of Folsom. Artie was born in Manzanar, California a century ago tomorrow, as tomorrow is her actual birthday, and moved to the Folsom area, to Mormon Island actually, when she was 8 years old. Artie graduated from Folsom High School in 1931 and married Bud Davies a year later. She was named Woman of the Year by the Folsom Chamber of Commerce. Artie and Bud are the parents to James Davies of Galt, Dawn Davies of Folsom, who is unfortunately deceased, and Myrna Davies Brown of Sunnyvale, who's sitting with her mom today. And Artie has 7 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. Artie was elected as the Folsom City Clerk in 1956. She was sworn in by Judge Ronke on April 17, 1956. The City Clerk is responsible for maintaining agendas and minutes of City Council proceedings, maintaining official city documents and public records, administering oaths of office, and planning and conducting municipal elections, among many other important and high-level duties. And during her tenure as the City Clerk, Artie officiated at countless City Council meetings and events, and her signature graces hundreds of documents in the city's archives. Artie retired as a city clerk on her 65th birthday, having served as clerk for 22 years. Bud and Artie Davies Park, which is located at 290 American River Canyon Drive in Folsom, is named in honor of Bud and Artie's. Nicholas, Mayor of the City of Folsom, and the Folsom City Council, and the citizens of the City of Folsom do hereby congratulate Artie Davies on her 100th birthday celebration and thank her for her service and outstanding contributions to the City of Folsom.
That Supervisor Roberta McGlashan, who represents Folsom, was not able to be here, Artie, but she and all of us on the board want to extend a very happy birthday to you, recognizing your many, many contributions to community. That throughout the years, folks have looked to you as not only a community leader, but someone who has cared very deeply about the community, have given a good part of your life to not only raising your family, but to helping this community to grow and to prosper. Artie, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Sacramento County, we join with people in this room and throughout the community and the broader, actually Northern California, in recognizing your contributions and wishing you a very, very happy birthday. Congratulations, Artie.
I did meet Artie Davies even before I was on the board. She was a person who, 20 years ago when I first got involved with the chamber, was somebody who was there, who was out there. She was an icon for a lot of us who wanted to participate in the community, and she was the kind of person you would look at and say, look at how much she has done in this community. Look. She also lives near one of our elementary schools, Theodore Judah. And Artie has been a person who has, not just ignored the kids next door, but she's been there. She's been in the school. She's volunteered, and she's spent time with the kids. And in appreciation of that, they have made her a little banner for her birthday.
The joint resolution we have from the California State Legislature, from Assemblywoman Gaines and Senator Ted Gaines, and goes as follows. Whereas Artie Mae Davies, a lifelong Folsom resident, will mark a milestone in her life on May 7, 2013 with the celebration of her 100th birthday, and upon this auspicious occasion she is deserving of special recognition and the heartiest congratulations from the people of the state. And whereas born on May 7, 1913 in Manzanar, California, to an itinerant farming family, Artie Davies later moved to the eastern outskirts of Folsom in the town of Mormon Island and graduated from Folsom High School in 1931. And whereas on August 22nd, 1932, Artie married John Henry Bud Davies in Reno, Nevada, and the couple made their home on Capitol Hill on the outskirts of Folsom, where Artie gave birth to 2 sons, James and Donald. And whereas the Davies family moved to Mormon Island in 1936 and started a small dairy on Green Valley Road at Shadow Fox Lane, where they eventually purchased their 1880s Natoma Water and Mining Company house, and were blessed by the arrival of their daughter Myrna. And whereas in 1941, the Davies relocated their 1880s house to the 245-acre Hoaxie Ranch in Mormon Island, where they supplied the community with door-to-door milk and cream in branded glass bottles as the official Davies Dairy. And whereas Artie and Bud sold their cows and milking equipment and purchased 430 acres on the White Rock Road to stake a new farming operation, they also purchased lots in Folsom, where the family in their 1880s house settled at 211 Natoma Street, and where Artie has resided for the last 62 years. And whereas from 1953 to 1956, Artie worked as a correspondent reporter for the Sacramento Bee, and after becoming deputy chief clerk of Folsom in 1954, she was elected to serve as city clerk 6 times over the course of 22 years until her retirement on May 7, 1978. And whereas over the years, Artie has served on numerous community boards and committees, including the United Rescue Grange, 4-H clubs, Sacramento Area Criminal Justice and Delinquency Prevention Planning Coordination Council, Folsom Orangeville Business and Professional Women's Club, First Church of Christ Scientist, Folsom Chamber of Commerce, Folsom Historical Society, and the Friends of the Folsom Library. And whereas in the 1960s, Artie and Bud rescued 6 historic buildings in Folsom and were instrumental in the campaign to rebuild the Palmer Day SA office and Wells Fargo building on Sutter Street, which stands today as the History Museum. And as a respected community elder and leader, Artie Davies has provided a dynamic role model for all people who believe strongly in their obligation to improve the quality of life for future generations.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today on behalf of our CEO, Joe Gagliardi, along with our staff, our board of directors, and our many business members. And listening to that, I thought a little bit about the very many ways that Artie and her contributions are woven into the everyday life we have at the Chamber. There have been so many opportunities to talk about both Artie and Bud and their contributions. From the Chamber's vantage point, of course, they represent the earliest active business component who had a vision of what Folsom could become and were champions for business. Today we house the Economic Development Corporation, and they were in fact doing so much to incentivize business growth in Folsom, much like we do today. It didn't have the same name, but it was the same spirit. Finally, I'm here today as the director of the Folsom Tourism Bureau for 1,000 people a month who walk through the doors of the Visitor Center, and their comment is always the same. I had no idea this community was here and was so fabulous. So I'm here on behalf of all the visitors, the businesses, and all of those who have benefited from your legacy to say thank you and a wonderful happy birthday. Fabulous photo of Artie when she was receiving one of her many awards. This particular one, the Woman of the Year Award, is being presented by Jack Kipp, and we have had that framed for part of your mementos and part of your birthday celebration.
Well, if this building starts shaking, because you got a Republican going to read a Democratic this sound. So hang on. When you become a senior, you're qualified not to be politically correct. Is that correct? That is correct. And whereas in 1983, Artie served as the president of the Folsom Historical Society, leading the Capitol campaign to build a new addition to the Folsom Historical Museum, which was completed in 1990. And whereas, in 1987, Artie received the prestigious Paul Harris Award from the Rotary Club of Folsom. And whereas, it was garden at the City of Folsom, Oak Avenue Fire Station was named for her, and on behalf of a Republican. Representative Democrat, becoming constituents of the 7th Congressional District of California, I am honored to recognize Artie Mae Davies for her outstanding service to our community. Amy Barra, MD, Member of Congress.
Thank you, Artie.
From the White House, Washington, D.C. Artie, it starts with a happy 100th birthday. We wish you the very best on this momentous occasion. You have witnessed great milestones in our nation's history, and your life represents an important part of the American story. As you reflect upon a century of memories, we hope that you are filled with tremendous pride and joy. Congratulations on your birthday, and may you enjoy many more happy years as a centenarian. Sincerely, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama.
About it. These are some pictures we pulled from the archives at the Folsom History Museum. Artie and her family in the early days.
Thank you, all you people, for coming and listening. And I thank them for doing this. I'm very proud of it. And I just want to thank you all for coming today.
I just feel overwhelmed by everything you've all done. I'm so proud of my mother and love seeing a photo of my dad. We thank you with all our hearts. It would take forever to thank everybody, but it's because of you that Mom is able to live in the house that Dad built for her so long ago and that she loves. We want to thank John and Spring and baby Cooper, who live next door. John is my nephew, Mom's grandson, and they look after her every day and make it possible for her to be there. Plus, Carolyn, who's such a dear friend over there, who brings her up to the senior center and wherever else I think she wants to go. And her church and the members that she loves so dearly, and the singers, June Chan, who's done so much. There's so many people, and Deborah, you have done so much for Mother, and you've been such a good friend to her as your mother was before her. And thank you.
Lots of photos to look at, and thank you all.